Have you ever been blindsided by your own family? Like, you're sitting there, minding your business, and suddenly someone drops a bomb so wild your brain just goes, what? And have you ever wondered how far a family will push you before you finally snap? Yeah. Hi, I'm Maya Torres, 33 years old, freelance UX designer from Denver, and this is the exact moment my family found out I wasn't their personal ATM anymore. So picture this. Christmas Eve dinner at my aunt's place. Lights twinkling, ham in the oven, everyone pretending they like each other for one night a year. I'm sipping my cider, trying to mentally survive yet another, "So, when are you settling down, Maya?" interrogation. Then my brother Luca, 29, self-proclaimed crypto visionary, actual unemployed couch tornado, stands up like he's about to make a presidential announcement. He clears his throat, taps his fork on his glass, everyone looks over, and he goes, "I'm overwhelmed. And Maya is paying for my Hawaii trip. I need the money now, like, today." I swear, I choked so hard on my drink I almost died right there next to the stuffing. My dad doesn't miss a beat. He leans back, smirks, and says, "If you tell him no, don't bother coming back here again." The room went dead silent. Forks frozen, eyes wide. My aunt literally whispered, "Oh Lord," under her breath. Mom just nodded like this was all pre-planned, like they'd been practicing this ambush in the car on the way over. And I'm sitting there thinking, these people have lost their damn minds. My face went hot so fast I felt like I was cooking from the inside out. One second I'm holding a cute little Christmas mug. The next my grip is so tight I'm like, "Okay, Maya, don't snap the handle off." Finally, I set the mug down, looked at all three of them, and I smiled. One of those slow, calm, borderline terrifying smiles. Then I said, "Well, good luck with that, and good luck with whatever mess comes next." I stood up, did not grab my coat, did not hug anyone, did not pretend to be polite, just walked out into the freezing Colorado night, snow smacking me in the face like tiny icy slaps. And you know what? I have never felt clearer in my life. If your family has ever turned a holiday into a hostage situation, go ahead and smash that like button right now, because what happened after this dinner? Oh, trust me, you're gonna want front row seats. Anyway, my car heater was broken, because of course it was. But for the first time in forever, I wasn't cold. My shoulders were finally down, not up near my ears like usual. I felt the tightness around my ribs, this invisible rope I didn't even realize I'd been dragging for years. Finally loosen. And the wildest part? It all started long before Christmas, back when Luca totaled his Camaro at 3 a.m. on a highway he had no business, doing 100 mpron. He called me crying that he'd lose his new opportunity without a car. Mom was sobbing into the phone about how her baby boy was going to be homeless. Dad was yelling in the background. By 9 a.m., guess who was signing paperwork at a dealership? Yeah, me. I bought him a charcoal gray Dodge Charger, fully loaded, $32,700 out of my pocket, title in my name, keys in his hand, and that was just the first domino. So, when he stood up in front of the whole family demanding I pay for some 24K Hawaii fantasy, the word no came out of me like a bullet I'd been holding back for years. But the fallout? Oh, you're not ready for that. Because the second I walked out that door, things started unraveling fast. And what I did when I got home? That's where everything really began. Driving home that night, windshield icing over, heater wheezing like a dying goat, I didn't feel panic. I didn't feel guilt. I didn't even feel the usual, "Maya, you're being dramatic" voice my family lovingly installed in my brain over the years. I felt relief. Like the air was finally breathable again. I pulled into my driveway, killed the engine, and just sat there in the dark. Breath fogging up the cabin, snowflakes tapping the roof. My fingers hovered over my phone, and then I did something I should have done years ago. I opened my banking app. One by one, click, 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 I started killing every single financial leash Luca had ever wrapped around me. Insurance I'd been paying for his charger? Deleted. Cell phone plan he used to call girls he never met from dating apps? Deleted. The storage unit stuffed with his rare collectible sneakers he bought with my card? Canceled. That bougie mailbox service downtown where all his brand deals were supposed to arrive? Bye. Terminated. And the gym membership he flexed on TikTok, even though he went like once a month? Gone. Every digital leak draining my money, severed in under 3 minutes. And the wild part? That heavy, nauseating guilt that usually swallows me after I tell Luca no? It didn't show up. Not even once. I walked into my apartment, set my phone on the counter, made hot tea, and sat by the window, watching snow fall in thick white sheets. The world was absolutely silent. No buzzing, no notifications. No emergency loan, please, I'll die without it. No, Dad's blood pressure will spike if you don't help your brother. Just peace. The next morning, though? Oh, honey. Peace left the chat. At exactly 7:14 a.m., my email pinged. Subject, reservation canceled. Kauai Ocean Villa deposit forfeited. Remaining balance unpaid. Trip terminated immediately. $18,900 up in smoke. And I stared at that email like it was a grocery receipt. Zero emotion, just, okay. I made breakfast, toast, eggs, iced coffee. Sat on the couch, wrapped myself in a blanket, watched a snowplow go by. Phone silent, mind quiet, stomach calm. But around noon, the universe said, "Wake up, sweetheart, drama's here." My phone buzzed, once, then twice, then all hell broke loose. Luca, 1, missed call, then 2, then 5, then 14. By 2 p.m., he had called me 37 times. Texts were rolling in so fast the notification bar looked like a slot machine hitting all cherries. Luca, "Where's the money? What did you do? Trip's canceled, Maya. Pick up the phone." I ignored every call. And that's when my cousin Elena, the family's official drama courier, jumped in. Elena, girl, cold-blooded, you really let him get clowned like that? Kinda savage NGL. I left her unread, because who even are these people anymore? At 4:09 p.m., Mom FaceTimed. I declined. She called again. Declined. Third time, I answered, because the buzzing was giving me a migraine. She was already crying. Mascara streaks, nose red, hair frizzed like she'd sprinted around the house. "Maya," she wailed, "your brother is devastated. He told everyone he was going to Hawaii. Now he looks ridiculous. Do you know how embarrassing this is for us? My book club is going to tear me apart." I blinked at her. Not once did she say, "How are you feeling?" or "Are you okay after being ambushed last night?" It was all about public humiliation, all about Luca's ego. I finally said calmly, "Mom, I don't owe him my life." She gasped. Full dramatic gasp like she was auditioning for daytime TV. Then Dad texted, "Dad, fix this, or you're no daughter of mine." All caps, no punctuation, pure emotional blackmail energy. And the family group chat? Oh, they turned it into a public firing squad. Screenshots, laughing emojis, cousins I haven't spoken to since middle school joining the dog pile like they'd been waiting for this moment their whole lives. By the time I got home, I had 19 angry voicemails from Luca. I poured myself a glass of wine, put one on speaker, and listened. He was fuming. "You ruined my reputation. I told the gym bros, I told my friends. Now I'm a joke. This is all your fault. You're selfish, Maya. Selfish." I deleted all of them, every single one. And for the first time ever, I didn't feel bad. But the universe wasn't done yet. Because 3 days later, I found out what happened to Luca's precious charger, and that was when everything really started to go downhill. 3 days after the Christmas meltdown, I was grabbing a latte downtown when my phone lit up with a notification from my cousin Elena. At first I ignored it. I assumed it was more, "OMG, your family is wild" commentary. But then another message came in. Then another. Then a video. And a string of crying, laughing emojis. I sighed. Opened the video. And my jaw straight up dropped. It was nighttime. Snow swirling under the orange parking lot lights. The camera was shaky, clearly recorded at 2 a.m. by someone who was both freezing and living for the drama. And the video showed my brother Luca standing barefoot in the snow wearing nothing but plaid pajama pants in pure rage. His beloved charger, yes, the same fully loaded $32,700 charger I bought, was chained to a tow truck. Repo. 2 repo guys were hooking the front tires while Luca screamed like a feral raccoon who just realized the trash can lid was locked. "That's my car! Bro, stop! I swear I'll pay. I have the money coming tomorrow, I promise." He tried to charge toward them, and instantly slipped on the ice. Not like a little stumble either. I mean full cartoon-style wipeout, legs up, arms flailing, back hits the pavement with a hollow thud. I winced, then I laughed, then I winced again. The tow driver, unbothered, sipping a gas station coffee, held up the repossession order like it was a holy scripture and said, "Sir, This car is 3 months past due. Move. Luca kept scrambling, slipping, yelling, pounding the snow with both fists like an angry toddler who couldn't get a happy meal. The tow truck rolled away while he was still screaming into the night. The last frame of the video, Luca kneeling in the snow, head thrown back, letting out this primal, echoing scream like the universe personally wronged him. The clip ended, and Elena added, "Girl, he woke up the whole complex. This is gold." I watched it again, and okay, maybe one more time. A cold, sharp satisfaction crept through me like, yeah, this was overdue. But karma? Oh, she wasn't done. She was just warming up her engine. 4 days later, I got another batch of screenshots, this time from my aunt. Luca apparently had decided the Hawaii trip could still happen if he made the payment himself. And in 72 hours, he had maxed every single credit card in the house. I'm talking flights, first class, of course, a 5-bedroom villa on the Big Island, a helicopter volcano tour, private chef dinners, sunset yacht cruise, a spiritual dolphin experience. I don't even know what that means. And random charges like $800 worth of floral leaves. The total? $400 charged in 3 days while unemployed, living at home with no car or money or sense. And guess whose credit cards he used? Mom's, Dad's, and even one emergency card they'd hidden in a kitchen drawer for disasters only. Welp, disaster achieved. Then came the photo that made my stomach drop a little. Not out of guilt, but out of sheer, oh damn, they're really doing this. On the dining table, the same one we carved pumpkins on as kids, were piles of mortgage statements, bank letters, red stamped notices, and right in the middle, a home equity line of credit application, $75,000 cash out, Dad signing it, handshaking. Mom had written Hawaii emergency across the folder in thick black Sharpie, like the world was ending if Luca didn't get his tropical getaway. I just froze. They were about to put their house, my childhood home, back in debt. For a trip. Not college, not medical bills, not fixing the roof. A Hawaii trip. But here's the twist. The bank denied it, hard denied. Because guess what? A repossessed Charger tanks credit scores real fast. Their scores dropped over 100 points overnight. They had officially set the house on fire financially. And then discovered they were out of water. And somehow, they still blamed me. But the part that truly blew my mind was what Luca did next. Because when the credit card stopped working, when the house refinance failed, when the repo hit, he didn't slow down. He escalated. Oh, he escalated so badly that even I was like, bro, there is no way he just did that. But he did. And it changed everything. So once the bank slammed the brakes on the $75K cash out refinance, you'd think that would be the moment my brother Luca finally sat down, took a deep breath, and went, maybe I'm the problem. But no. This man decided to speedrun his own destruction like it was a sport. And the worst part? My little sister, Talia, was documenting it all like a reality show with commercial breaks. It started with texts from her at weird hours. At 1:32 a.m., OMG Maya, look at this. At 4:07 a.m., he is literally unhinged RN. Then came the screenshot flood. Turns out, after the loan denial, Luca got it into his head that he could fix everything by replacing the Hawaii trip with an even bigger Hawaii trip. Yes, he doubled down. On a vacation he couldn't afford when he had a car, clean credit, and a job he quit after 3 days because the vibes were off. Within 48 hours, he booked another 5-bedroom cliffside villa, paid for 12 tickets to a sunset catamaran cruise, bought VIP seats for a luau he couldn't even spell, luau, according to the receipt, ordered $200 worth of Hawaiian aesthetic outfits, upgraded flights again, total new charges, $20,400 on credit cards that weren't his. And every time a charge went through, he posted those dumb little "let's go" Instagram stories like he was celebrating winning the lottery. Meanwhile, Talia was screen recording everything for a private group chat titled Luca's Meltdown Chronicles. She added me. She shouldn't have, but she did. And honestly, the content was wild. One video showed him sitting shirtless on the couch, surrounded by rejected credit cards, screaming, "Why does every bank hate me? I'm an influencer." For reference, the man had 812 followers, and half of them were bots from 2014. Another screenshot showed mom emailing banks at 2 a.m. "Please, give us another chance. It's important our son takes this trip." Important, a trip, not therapy, not rehab, not anything useful. A trip. But the moment everything truly snapped was the picture of Dad, my stoic, silent, I don't need help father, standing at the dining table with his hand shaking so violently he could barely sign paperwork. The HELOC denial letter was right next to him. He looked old, stressed, broken, all because they tied their entire self-worth to Luca's fantasy life. But even that wasn't the bottom. Nope, we hadn't reached hell yet. Because a few days after the bank denial, the inevitable happened. The house slipped into pre-foreclosure. I found out by accident. I was looking at property comps for a work project, and boom! There it was, my childhood home, the Torres house, with a giant red tag, pre-foreclosure. Price slashed, photos updated, notices taped to the door, trash everywhere, bills piled up, carpet stained, couch cushions on the floor. It looked like a tornado of bad decisions had blown through the house and then backed up to hit it again. Talia sent me a video the same night. She whispered into the mic like she was narrating a nature documentary. "Welcome to the wild habitat of the endangered Torres family, currently losing their home because Luca couldn't go to Hawaii. Truly tragic." Then zoomed in on Dad arguing with a debt collector on speaker. I didn't respond. Not to her. Not to Mom. Not to anyone. I just watched my family unravel under the weight of Luca's delusion and their own enabling. And still, they blamed me. Every cousin, every aunt, every distant relative decided I was the villain because I stopped paying for a grown man's luxury vacations, car insurance, and impulse buys. And trust me, the online meltdown was just getting started. Because the moment the foreclosure panic hit, Luca grabbed his phone, opened Instagram, went live. And the things he said about me, yeah, we weren't prepared for that level of unhinged. So, remember how I said my brother Luca went live? Yeah. That 15-minute meltdown was the moment the entire internet realized my family was a full-blown circus with no ringmaster. It happened on a Sunday night. I was meal prepping, vibing, listening to lo-fi, feeling peaceful for the first time in weeks. Then my phone started vibrating like it was trying to escape the countertop. 25 notifications, then 39, then 71, all, "Girl, get on IG Live RN. Your brother is losing it. OMG Maya, look what he said." I hesitated. I didn't want to see it, but curiosity? Curiosity's rude. It wins every time. So I clicked the link, and there he was, Luca, sitting on the edge of a motel-style bed, hoodie half-zipped, hair greasy, eyes puffy, looking like he just lost a fight with gravity and disappointment. He had 200 people watching live, mostly mutual acquaintances, some randoms, a couple trolls. He sniffed dramatically into the camera and said, "Guys, I didn't want to say this, but my sister Maya ruined my entire life." I literally froze mid-chop with a bell pepper in my hand like, oh, here we go. Then he launched into this unhinged speech. She sabotaged my Hawaii trip. She made the resort cancel me. She had my car stolen. Yes, stolen. Don't listen to anyone saying repo. That's lies. She hacked my accounts. She messed with my family's credit. She wants to see us homeless. Homeless? Hacked? Bro, what? He kept going. My parents are heartbroken. My mom hasn't slept in days. My dad is literally sick. And Talia? She's traumatized. The chat was eating it up like popcorn. Drama! Expose her! What did she do, though? Tell us the whole story, King. King. This man had just face-planted in a parking lot 3 nights ago. Then he hit peak delusion. She thinks she's better than us because she has a little design job and her own apartment. Like, congrats? You're not Jeff Bezos, sweetheart. Sweetheart. Wow. I laughed out loud. He sniffled dramatically again. And you know what? Real family doesn't turn their backs over a few small expenses. Small expenses. My jaw literally locked. A car, insurance, storage units, phone plans, $20,000 vacations. Small? Small? Then he delivered the line that sent the live into chaos. She owes us. She always owed us, and now she's paying us back by destroying everything. I almost choked on my own spit. Someone in the chat typed, "Bro, you sound entitled." He blocked them on live. Instantly, didn't even blink. Then he started crying harder, like ugly crying, heaving chest, red face, snot happening, whole opera performance, and saying, "If Maya doesn't fix this, I swear I'll never speak to her again." I sat on my couch, sipping my iced tea, whispering, "Baby, that's the goal." And then, because Talia can't resist a spotlight, she jumped into the live too. Her camera popped up in the corner. She looked like she'd been crying for 12 hours straight, which is wild because she had posted a makeup selfie half an hour earlier. She sniffed dramatically. "Maya abandoned us. She doesn't care that we're losing the house. She doesn't care that Luca is suffering. She doesn't care about Mom's mental health. She's so selfish." Talia dabbed her fake tear with a Sephora sample. Chat went insane. "This family is wild. I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. Where is Maya? Drop her AU. Luca. She's blocked us all. If she doesn't unblock me by tomorrow, I'm done." Talia gasped like he'd delivered a death sentence. "Oh my God, Luca, don't say that." He put a hand on his forehead, shaking like he was starring in a dramatic Lifetime movie. It's her or the family, and she picked herself. And then, my mom walked into the background and yelled, "She killed this family, bruh, bruh." I sat there blinking like a confused owl. Killed? Because I stopped paying for a grown man's tropical vacation? The live ended with all three of them crying on a motel bed like a chaotic sitcom finale. I put my phone down slowly, took a deep breath, and for the first time in my entire life, I let myself be angry, not sad, not guilty, not confused, just angry. But anger wasn't the wild part. The wild part was what happened next, because karma had barely rolled up her sleeves, and the universe wasn't even close to done with them yet. After the Instagram meltdown, I figured things would cool down for a bit. Like, maybe they'd take a breath, reflect, realize how unhinged they looked to 200 strangers who now thought our family was the Walmart version of the Kardashians. But nope. The Torres family was just getting started. And the universe? She said, "Oh, honey, let's turn this dial to chaotic." It started with a notice. A big, yellow, ugly notice taped right to the front door of my parents' house. Final notice, 90 days to redeem or property will be sold at auction. Talia sent me a video like she was hosting a travel vlog. "Welcome back to Foreclosure Diaries, Episode 7. As you can see behind me, our family home is officially entering the Thunderdome. Like and subscribe for more content." She spun the camera around to show my dad trying to peel the notice off the door while yelling, "Don't film this! Turn that off!" Naturally, she posted it. And her followers, who used to hype up her makeup hauls and Starbucks runs, were now like, "Girl, this ain't cute. Paul's get a job. Your family is wild, not the foreclosure arc." Her engagement skyrocketed, and she loved every second of it. Meanwhile, Mom tried one more desperate strategy, begging a different lender for a traditional refinance. She even baked banana bread for her loan officer, like carbs could magically erase their credit score. Spoiler, it did not. The denial email hit the same afternoon, declined due to insufficient credit profile. Translation: "Y'all nuked your scores into the dirt." Talia sent me another screen recording, cackling. "Girl, they tried a whole loan application with a repo on file and no income. I'm screaming." I didn't reply, didn't react, didn't give her the satisfaction. But then she posted something that made my entire jaw lock. She went live at a ski resort, full glam, new $600 white puffer jacket, Starbucks cup the size of a fire extinguisher. Behind her, snow glistening, people skiing, everyone looking like they belonged on a bougie winter getaway. And this girl, this absolute menace to society, looked into the camera and said, "Quick life update, besties. Some people thought they could ruin our family by being selfish, But guess who's still thriving? This girl. She winked. Sip, hair flip. And a huge shout out to my big sister Maya for indirectly sponsoring this whole trip. Your absence is literally the gift that keeps giving. Y'all. I felt my eyebrow twitch, and then she added Luca into the live. He was in his motel room, hoodie up, looking like he'd aged 20 years in a week. He toasted her with his Starbucks drink and said, "Facts. Love you, sis." The comments were wild. Not the thanks for the trauma vacation arc. Maya is the main character. This family needs a documentary. Meanwhile, back home, the foreclosure clock was ticking. The house listing updated again. Photos showed eviction stickers slapped across the door. The price dropped another $30K overnight. But Talia kept posting spa selfies from the ski lodge like she wasn't technically homeless. She even made a TikTok titled, "How to Stay Positive During Family Drama," while literally tagging the foreclosure notice. I watched one video, just one, then closed the app and went back to work. But a week later, the inevitable finally happened. The house went to auction, county courthouse, Tuesday, 10 a.m., sold to an out-of-state investor for way less than it was worth. The new owner gave my family 48 hours to vacate. They shoved what little they had into 2 U-Hauls and checked into a Motel 6 off I-70. Room 214, 2 beds, flickering lights, smelled like sadness and old fries. That was their new home. And this was where everything unraveled, completely, fully, spectacularly. Because the motel wasn't rock bottom, not even close. Rock bottom came when Luca tried to rebuild his influencer life in a diner parking lot at 3 a.m. And what he did next? Oh, you're about to scream. So, remember how I said the motel wasn't rock bottom? Yeah, rock bottom was still packing its suitcase and putting on its shoes. Because once my family settled into room 214 at the Motel 6, reality finally smacked them across the face like a frying pan. They had 2 beds for 4 people, a mini fridge that made a death rattle, a bathroom light that flickered like a horror movie, and no privacy whatsoever. Dad took the bed closest to the door, sitting on it every night like a prison guard. Mom took the other side, stuffing tissues in her ears because Luca snored like a lawnmower. Talia slept sideways at the foot of the bed, complaining daily that her spine was snapping in half. And Luca? Luca was spiraling. The diner hired him for night shifts, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., mostly because nobody else wanted to deal with drunk customers at 3 in the morning. He smelled like bacon grease, cigarettes, and failure. He'd stumble into the motel room after shifts, throw his apron on the floor, and crash face first into a pillow. Some nights he cried. Some nights he punched the wall. Some nights he made TikToks pretending his life was on the grind era FR. Those videos, they got like 12 views. Then he found sports betting apps. And that's when things turned straight up tragic. Luca sat on the motel bed night after night, staring at his phone with this crazed look in his eyes, whispering, "One more. One more. I'm gonna hit the big one. I can feel it." Spoiler? He did not hit anything. He gambled away $25,000 in 4 months. Not money he had, money he borrowed, stole, begged for, and charged to cards that were already overdue. When he ran out of funds, he pawned. His PlayStation, Mom's wedding ring, Dad's tools, even the microwave. The day I found out he pawned the microwave, I had to sit down. Like, bro, how do you pawn a microwave? Who buys a motel microwave? But it got worse. Collectors started calling the motel at 3 a.m. Dad unplugged the landline, but they still called the front desk. Mom cried every other night about losing her boy. And Talia, oh Lord Talia, lasted 6 more weeks before she tapped out. One October morning, she packed her ring light, 3 makeup bags, and 2 trash bags full of clothes. She kissed Mom on the cheek and said, "Love you, but I cannot live in this crusty place. I'm a content creator, not a cockroach." Then she left with some 26-year-old music producer she met on TikTok Live. Last I heard, they were crashing on his cousin's couch in Aurora, arguing about who was supposed to buy ramen noodles. Fast forward 2 months. I get a thick, wrinkled envelope in the mail. No return address, but the handwriting was unmistakable. My mom's. Inside were 12 pages of their misery. Mom said they were evicted from the motel in September. A church friend let them park a 1987 trailer on his land for $300 a month. The bathroom had no heat. The propane tank ran out every 10 days. Dad was working as a Walmart greeter. Mom was cleaning offices at night. Luca was drinking daily, working fewer hours at the diner and drowning in gambling debt. Then there was a final page, handwritten by Talia. It said, "You did this. You broke us. Everything we lost is because you wouldn't help family. Hope you choke on your Christmas dinner this year. You killed this family." She drew a little broken heart at the bottom. I stood in my kitchen reading that letter, the snow falling outside, the soft hum of my heater running, and I felt nothing. Not guilt, not sadness, not anger, just clarity. I folded the letter, walked to my fireplace, lit the burner, and held the edges to the flame. I watched it burn, all 12 pages curling into ash. Then I rinsed the ashes down the sink. That night I made steak, poured myself a glass of wine, and ate dinner at a table set for one. The apartment was warm, quiet, peaceful, mine. Outside, the city glowed under fresh snow. Inside, there was no yelling, no guilt, no crisis, just me. And honestly, it was the most peaceful Christmas I've ever had. If you felt this story, if you've ever carried your whole family on your back until you broke, hit like, share the video, and subscribe to Silent Revenge Lab. You deserve peace too.